Hey, welcome back to Cinema Sitdown. I'm going to be your host today, Andrew Zoellner, and I am joined by
Addi Miller
and Megan Weaver.
And today we watch The Klan's Heir is a Trans Woman, so we'll be talking about that in just a few seconds right after this intro. All right, welcome back. I think I want to start out today. I want to get some initial thoughts. What are our general thoughts on the movie? I'll go and start with Addi.
Yeah, no, this was a great movie. I really didn't know what I expected. What we watched was not what I expected, but it was really good. I really liked the message. I thought it was it was very like silly and serious at the same time, you know, but it touched on a lot of really good topics, and I think it was really beautiful.
Yeah, I would say it was definitely was. I don't know what I thought it was going in. You like sent a description to us, and I like briefly read it, and I was like, okay, I think I know what it's gonna be about. But no, it was great. I really liked it. I thought it had some like good topics it touched on, and some things I do want to discuss with you guys. Sure. But no, I really, it was very heartfelt. There was a lot of like really sweet moments, and a lot of like moments where I was like, no, why?
No, yeah, it's definitely it's
a bit of a
that mix.
Heart tears at your heartstrings a bit.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I thought it was very good.
Yeah, this is my second viewing now. I actually watched this back in February, so for the first time, and I was like, oh, I have to share this movie around just because it is so. It's very obscure, like, but I feel like it's a worthwhile film to be sharing, and I'm thinking that's even more so this second viewing. I found that I enjoyed it more. Which I didn't think I could because I really liked it the first time. I thought it was like you said, very beautiful, very poignant film that touches on a lot of things. But yeah, it's a very good movie. And let's I think I want to start out by talking about what we thought about like the representation of trans people throughout, because that's obviously like the main point of the movie. So I kind of want to start with that. What are we thinking?
Did you want to go next?
Oh, I don't care.
I don't
know. Representation is like a really big thing for me. It's one of like
for sure.
the things, like if I ever need to write an essay about anything, I'm like, I could do it on representation. It's and this movie, I think we were trying to figure out earlier before we start rolling if the actress playing Nana is a trans woman, but like there's no information
there's
about her online.
Nothing about
so
her.
For the record, we're just gonna assume. But I think it does show, because it has like that like underground nightlife that is very, very prevalent with the trans community, and I think it handles its trans characters very well. There is like a lot of transphobia in it, but they're like our bad guys.
I was gonna say they're the villains of the movie, so it's like
the transphobic ones. So and it just like the T slur gets thrown around a lot by
definitely.
multiple characters, and I think 2013, 2012.
It was 2013, yeah.
2013.
Filmed in 2012,
and for I think Japan is like considered a more conservative country.
No, yeah.
I think it is a very good representation and shows like a side that is not always talked about in trans communities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of the like some of the main guys from like the Yakuza was like they didn't know a lot about it, but it's almost like the more that they got to know Nana, then it was like a lot of the stuff I knew before isn't what I now is what I'm seeing. You know, Nana's not some like evil transgender person. You know, of like what people.
Yeah, it was more
think.
Like ignorance for them.
Yeah,
they just didn't know.
No, and then it's like they just kind of slowly were like, actually not even slowly, actually
they
very quickly.
It was like,
hey, I could show.
I could vibe with this.
Yeah. And I think that's really cool because like I feel like that can even happen like just in real life as well. I feel like a lot of people aren't really open-minded at first, but then it's like once they really interact and meet with somebody, then they're like, oh wow, this is not what I expected. But
yeah, I definitely agree with that. How like there is that sort of like it's almost like a novel thing where it's like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. And I feel like this movie does a really good job of kind of portraying that like initial like the initial like shock. It's like, oh, I don't know what this is. And then like the slowly, not even slowly like you said, but like the warming up to it. I feel like this movie does a really good job at portraying that sort of throughout the film with like our main cast of characters there. I had another thought, but
keep thinking.
I lost it. I lost it all of a sudden. It'll come back to me. Oh, it's gone.
No, no, but I do think that the representation is. I mean, like you said, I think Japan is a little bit more conservative. So there was some stuff that I was like, interesting
yeah, a couple
choices,
things were a little like but like
overall.
Over 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And
that was
like,
another thing.
I think you can't always have like the perfect.
No.
You guys, you have to have characters that are gonna be like the like antagonists and
right. Of course.
It'd be weird if the other Yakuza were like, oh, very accepting.
I was gonna say,
like there has to be
like
some
the
conflict
evil ones
there.
like were respectful. Yeah, I'd be like, they shouldn't be probably for the sake of the story.
Right.
But I had it again. Now it's gone.
I'm sorry, but yeah, I will say though, I do agree with that, but I think that also is kind of realistic. Of like, I mean, I would say a lot of people would or not a lot of people who don't care for trans women or just transgender people in general probably would just throw around slurs anyway. So I guess that kind of like fits, but like I guess it was just like the amount that I was just like, dude, we get it.
They're going. They're saying it again.
I know.
They're saying it again. Oh,
it's like, yeah.
And I also liked. We're talking about trans women because obviously it's mostly about trans women, but I like the inclusion of like trans men and the trans masculine people, like all the bartenders were trans men, and I thought that was fun to like show. Like I feel like when you have like media with trans representation, you only get one side of it,
right? Yeah.
And so I think this one was mainly about trans women and about Nana specifically, but I like the inclusion of like trans men also exist. They're going to be around other trans people, so obviously they'd be here and work at this same like nightclub.
Yeah. Okay, I finally got it. I think this movie is so interesting how it sort of ties together like being transgender and then being like Yakuza and being like sort of like these outlaws, these like people that are kind of don't fit into society. I think that's such an interesting way to depict that idea.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Nana had like the little voiceover moment where she's talking to Ryu.
Yeah.
Where he was like, people don't like us, like they don't like accept us, like it's a hard life, and she's like, yeah. I know. I get that. Yeah. Trust me. I know what that's like. And so I thought that was like a really. It was also kind of funny they're comparing trans women to the like Yakuza. And it was like I get the metaphor they're making here. Yeah. But I did kind of like that. Where it was like she knows what it's like to be kind of like mistreated in society.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting how this movie like again it's from 2013, it's from Japan, but it feels like it has the heart of like it knows what it's trying to say. It might be a bit like jank getting to it, but it definitely knows like it wants to say something and it wants to be. It feels very honest in a lot of ways.
Yeah, they get the spirit.
I think I don't think they were trying to make something that was like poking fun
at
transness.
No.
It felt very like genuine and like this is a story we want to tell. It is about Nana, but it's also not really. It's about this like fight between the two Yakuza families. Like it's not about. It is. Half of it is about Nana becoming like the new leader.
Right.
But the other half in the main story is like this big war between the families, and so it's not all about like, and she's here and she's trans and it's weird and we gotta do like a big drama about it. Once she becomes like the leader, it's like, okay, that part's over.
Yeah, now
we
she's
can
one of
focus
us.
on this.
And I think that's again a very kind of neat, novel way to do representation like that, because I feel like in a lot of media, it's like a big deal. This character is trans, but like in this one, it's like. It feels, it's like it's very clearly important to the story, but it's not like the only focus of it.
And like they tell you in the title, it's not like they're hiding it.
Like
it's a big reveal. It's
I was
not
gonna
like
say it's like
a big shock.
First minute, couple minutes of the movie, it's like, oh yep, that's
the title.
That's what we're going into.
You're gonna get it eventually by reading the title of the movie.
I'm also very glad that they chose. What do you know what her name is, like in real life?
It lists her name is Belle.
Belle. I think that they picked a really good actress for it. I feel like she was very convincing, and now my point is gone. No, I can't remember what the point was, but I don't know. I think I was just gonna point out how pretty she was.
Yeah, she was really pretty.
I think whenever they showed like the intro and they were showing, and I was trying to figure out which one was. Yeah. And then when I saw her, I was like, I'm really hoping it's her. She's really, really pretty. I was like, I hope so.
I liked all this. I wish we had more scenes with all the performers together.
I do too. Yeah, honestly.
I wanted to see them together more. But I guess they didn't do that because it would make it more sad when Nana left or was like kicked out essentially.
Yeah.
No, but like
that hurt me really badly.
But like I feel like if they had bonded more, I would have been more sad. But I did enjoy all the scenes where any of the performers in the club interacted because I like to see that bond between them.
I was gonna say, I feel like in terms of like even like looks of all the trans characters, like they are all, there's not like a stereotypical look for them.
No, they're all dressed up in makeup. They're all
dresses. They all look great.
Yeah, I assume some of them are using their real voices.
Right.
And like it's that's the other thing is like there's no like a stereotype like and this is the one we make fun of.
Right. Yeah.
They're all treated with like respect.
With a level of respect. Yeah.
And like when in the scene where they're at in the pub part and they're all talking and all the patrons are there and one of the patron like tries like trying to like grab on the other girl and they're like, nuh-uh, we don't do that here. And they send like the tough one over to like, look, no.
She's like, behave yourself.
Don't do that.
No, that was
and so
good.
I did like that of like, we don't do that here. Like, don't touch our girls, you know. Be nice.
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
So I want to talk about the tone of this movie because it does flip-flop quite a lot, and I guess I want to know general thoughts. Like, what are we thinking about that? Because that's like one of the things where I find I'm a bit conflicted about it. It feels a little bit jumpy at points.
That is true. I think that it does kind of work though to take something that's just two completely opposite and then just kind of like mesh it together. But because kind of like what we were talking about, like the intro of just like how happy it was, and it like first just talked about like the Yakuza boss dying, and then all of a sudden it's like, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. But I feel like I really feel like it works. Like it did feel sometimes kind of jumpy with like specifically like the music. Like there would sometimes be something.
The music
really
cues were a bit jarring.
No, the music cues are a bit.
And I was like,
a bit off.
But I like that.
And I think they set up that juxtaposition from the beginning of like the dramatic like boss dying and like they're running and like shaking, trying to like shake him awake, and then it's like the girls are dancing. And look how pretty they are. They have big feather fans, and our boss is dying.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing I did find that was like jumpy in the climax is when our boss, the good guy boss, like goes over there, and then his like second in command follows him, and then he's like, no, go back. So then he goes back, and then he also goes, but to the pub.
Right.
And then they're like, I'm gonna go back, and so he goes back, and they're over here like, we're gonna go back, and so it's just like all like we're gonna go everywhere.
Jumbled,
of like we're here, and now we gotta go here, and now we are over here.
Hopefully everything was really close because there was a lot of running.
There was so much running. Like, did that guy have to run like 2 miles back and forth?
Very well, maybe. It wouldn't necessarily surprise me.
Yeah.
I keep losing my train of thought. I had something I was going to say. Oh, I was going to talk about, so yeah, again, like going back to the music cues, I think that is a result of this movie having like a lower budget. So they probably had like a limited, because I feel like a lot of the songs are like, I feel like we could get something a little bit better here.
Yeah.
But I imagine they were probably working with limited resources. Because I mean, like, this is very clearly like,
it's a lower budget movie. And I think there's like a charm to that.
No, absolutely.
And I think they worked very well with what they had. I think a lot of lower budget movies also make the mistake of having no music in their scenes and it's just dead silent.
Yeah.
I think
I would prefer the constant piano to piano music over like them sitting in silence.
Nothing,
And I think their sound effects were pretty good. Sound effects are very hard, especially for fight scenes.
Right,
we as DMP kids know that. Punching sound effects, knife sound effects, gun sound effects are very hard to do.
The specific punch at one point when it was just like a whoosh, it was like smack.
Yeah.
It was like classic.
Yeah.
And then the bonk song with the bottle.
Yeah, so I think they did well with what they did, and a couple times I did have to like laugh a little to myself when it was like a cut to the piano music, or like the piano music stopped and then the intense action music started.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I also had a third part to make.
That's
We're
the theme of this
losing
episode.
it.
We're all losing our thoughts. There's just a lot to talk about. I want to talk about I think the acting in this movie is also like very strong for being, again, a low budget film. Like, obviously you have, I mean, like Hitoshi Ozawa, who's the director and main actor in this. He's been in a lot of stuff, like a lot of Yakuza. That's like his bread and butter is like Yakuza cinema. So he's been in a lot of stuff, and he's great in this. Yeah. I think he does a really good job of portraying like the hard, tough boss character, but then also like kind of like a softer side to him, and like that, and like the scene where he's talking with Nana outside there. I think he does a really good job of like conveying that like internal sadness.
Yeah.
And it was such a big cast too. So many characters. Like not even like there's lots of main characters, but then lots of side characters that had multiple scenes. And so I just think that, and a lot of them are in like very small buildings. And I think the acting was good all around for everyone, and I just can't imagine that casting call to get everyone for that.
Yeah, no, it'd be
but
crazy.
No, I definitely liked his performance. He did very good, and not to typecast him, he does fit the Yakuza boss,
I mean, like the face
vibe, but he also played that very nurturing and like he cares actually side of him very well.
Yeah, same with the bad boss. That was part of the Yakuza.
Oh no!
Anyway, no, I know. I was like, really, honestly, if you weren't transphobic, I feel like this would work.
If you like weren't like a terrible transphobe,
oh my goodness.
I know. But I always gotta point it at least. There's always that one person that I'm like.
There's that one guy. I was like, ooh, okay.
But I think it's just like the style and everything. Anyway, keep going.
I like how you can tell the difference between who are good guys and who are bad guys by the glasses they wore. Like our good guys wore sunglasses and the bad guys wore clear normal glasses. I don't know if that was intentional, but I was
feel like it was.
Oh, they're the bad guys. They're wearing normal glasses. Oh, that's our guy. He's wearing sunglasses. And I think that with the big cast, and especially you don't speak the language, it can get a little confusing if there's a lot of characters. But having them in those distinct
that is true.
things,
I guess I didn't really see that. That makes sense.
Because like our two main guys wore sunglasses all the time, and then like the main two bad Yakuza guys had the clear glasses.
I guess that that makes sense. Yeah, it was a little bit difficult at first because they all had like the same haircut at first, and then
they're all wearing suits.
Their voices were kind of the same, and then the sunglasses are like I don't.
These are the same person.
Yeah, I was like, okay. It wasn't until like really towards the end that I was like, okay. Now I know.
Near the end, I was like, I'm getting who's who. And I like that Nana brought one outfit to live at the Yakuza place.
True, yeah.
She brought her pink shirt, her blue skinny jeans and sandals, and her big leopard print bag.
Yeah, that's all she needs.
Slayed that outfit.
She can slay it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she showed them all up cleaning for them.
It's true, yeah.
Like, you guys live like this is what she did.
Like,
basically, yeah.
No, I love Nana. She's
great character, yeah.
Probably my favorite.
I want to talk about, before we get to like our final scores, I want to talk about that last scene because I feel like it's really, really like the defining scene of this movie where, spoilers, I'll add a little tag for when you can come back, but where Ryu like dresses full in drag and goes and kills the evil Yakuza.
Oh,
that scene,
killed that
scene feels so vindicating in so many different ways, but I don't know, I just really like that scene a lot.
It was powerful.
No, it's so strong.
Oh, it was
Those
so
heels.
Cool.
That's what I did. All of that in heels.
I was gonna say he quite literally kills it.
Yeah, literally.
He quite
and
literally.
He's wearing the same outfit that who he called his brother, but his sister.
Right. Yeah, his sister. Yeah.
That red sparkly dress, then that the fur shrug.
Exactly.
It had the same framing of the shot where like the sister walked away.
Yeah.
So he was
Iconic.
walking into the like basically a video game level where you have to like kill your way up.
Kinda, yeah. That's definitely what it felt like.
That's what they were like laughing at him. I'm like, dude, your guys are
you're laughing
dead,
at him.
But
You got no one left.
Takes off the jacket. That show with the tattoo.
That was so.
Oh no!
It's just
He looked
such a sick
very
scene.
good.
It was super cool.
And I think it like not outside of just like he looked really cool.
No, yeah.
I think it does like show he's like I want to like homage to both Nana and his sister.
His sister, you know, he wants both to be like,
and, like
seen. That's what I get from that.
Like, you think this is funny that I'm dressing like a woman? Well, I'm gonna kill all your guys and everyone in a dress and heels. And you're in a suit?
Yeah. It's like it doesn't change who I am at all.
Yeah,
I'm still the
exactly.
Yakuza boss.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm the exact same person. I'm quite literally just wearing a dress. But
all right, so really quickly, let's do final scores.
Okay.
Final scores, real quick.
I don't want to go first.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
else go first.
I can go first.
Okay, yes, go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is like a 9 out of 10 movie for me. This is like a new favorite. I love this movie. It's really good. Go watch it. It's on archive.org. Just look it up. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I would say an 8 or an 8.5. I think it was really good. Again, I recommend it if this is your type of movie. But it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you we are watching something like more niche.
Yeah. I'll probably give it an 8.5. The only reason is because the camera work. I'm like, I know they were. I know they were like going, but I was
it's
just
a little bit out there.
Come on. Like some of those walking scenes, I was like, I know it's hard. But just hold it still for just a little bit. But no, this was a solid movie. I liked this one.
All right, well that's gonna be it for us today here at Cinema Sitdown. Be sure to tune in next time. We'll be seeing you in just a little bit. Bye.
Bye.